Hey everyone, welcome back to Catching Up with the Walkers. Thank you so much for stopping by. It has been a long minute since we've sat down and had a chat with you, just sitting down and enjoying a drink and visiting. Cassie, why has it been so long?
Because we got lots of stuff going on. And I'm tired. I don't know.
No, it's been so long because when we do have time to do extra videos for this channel, we have projects we have to do and we have things we need to be doing. But tonight,
no time for setting.
Yeah, we're on the go. We're constantly doing something, and that's not changing because Cassie's in full swing of basketball season. We've had games. What was it? Tuesday night. We'll have games Thursday night, Friday night, and hopefully we get the weekend off because soccer's over.
Yes, and then Thanksgiving break is next week.
You excited?
You have to go to work?
You excited about Thanksgiving?
I don't have to go to work. Do you have to go to work?
I will go to work because then I get a break from all the kids that will be home. Does that make sense?
I see.
I'm kidding. No, I will get to spend time with the family. I have off at least 2 days. I might take off 3 days around the Thanksgiving holiday to spend time with our family. And some people don't even know that I work, Cassie. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody asked me because I guess I probably mentioned it in one of our videos on Walker Farm Fam, going to work or just got home from work. And they're like, you work? As hard to believe as it is, because we do a lot
of videos.
We do a lot of videos, but yes, I work about 40 hours a week at a full-time job.
And then we put in 60 hours a week doing YouTube. How many hours are there in a week?
And then we do another 30 hours a week on the farm.
40 hours with extracurricular activities.
We go to church for at least 3 or 4 hours a week.
And I sleep.
So there you go. So yes, we are going all the time mainly because that's what it takes to make things go around.
Yeah, that's what we do.
And we do have some downtime though coming up around the holidays. We always get extra time to spend with family, and we're so looking forward to spending Thanksgiving with family and enjoying a nice holiday meal and being able to celebrate everything we're thankful for.
Yeah, and with that, our Sundays are always for us. We still sometimes still have activities or things to do, but it's for us. Our Wednesday evenings are for church, and we eat at church and things. So we have those days that are kind of sacred for us to be able to have some downtime.
Yes.
Other than that, it's go, 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 go.
So, but like you said, and I think this is kind of one of the things we want to talk about today, is where do you draw that line? That line of what is more important in life. So this last weekend, we were in a soccer tournament. Ranger played soccer. And at the very beginning of the season, before the season ever started, we always try to communicate, heads up, hey, if we do end up playing in tournaments, because we didn't agree to any tournaments to begin with, but if we do play any tournaments, we have a priority over any type of soccer or basketball or tournament play. And that is, we go to church as a family every Sunday from 9 a.m. till noon. After that's over, we may be available to come to a tournament. We may not be available to come to a tournament, but we try to be up front as much as possible, so we make sure and let the coaches know what our priority is.
Yes, as a coach, I value that, but also if someone else had another obligation, I would want them to tell me up front. That way, we don't get to what we're going, get to where we're going, and then I'll be like, well, where's so-and-so at? So ever since Ranger has started playing sports, coaches always know those type of things. So far, everyone's been just fine with it. But I know sometimes people will say, well, maybe you could watch church online, or you could do this or that. We don't waver how we do our Sunday church. We go, like Gary said, from 9 a.m. to noon. So that's what we do. It's not, well, we'll go from 9 to 10, or we'll watch it online or whatever. We go to church like regular.
So there has to be a line somewhere, right?
Yes.
And this is one of the things I heard actually on a podcast I listen to off and on. Not Dave Ramsey, but one of the Ramsey Group podcast people. The other day, I heard a basically discussion about kids' sports these days. Mm-hmm. And I say these days, it's probably been going on for a while. But
it's gotten more out of hand.
The amount of kids that participate in travel ball, and travel ball could be baseball, could be soccer, could be football,
competitive soccer,
could be hockey.
Yeah,
it doesn't necessarily mean ball. It's anything competitive. It could be dance. It could be cheer,
musical, chess. I mean, whatever that is, more than just typical.
Yeah, and so in these situations of travel sports, we'll just say in general, a lot of times the entire family, or just the parents and the child, travel from their city, their hometown, to, I don't know, it can be 3 to 4 states away. It could be 6 hours away. It could be 4 hours away. And usually they set it up so, in the tournaments and stuff that we've been familiar with, they set it up so it's played over 3 days.
Well, when I was a kid, it was Friday, Saturday, and then not as much Sunday. But now it's a little bit Saturday and a lot Sunday.
Yeah, or a little bit Friday night, a little bit Saturday, a little bit Sunday. So the point of it, to me, is it's doing 2 things. One, first and foremost, it's making somebody rich. Like, there's somebody...
We need to start hosting these tournaments.
There is somebody out there that is raking in the cash. Because when you go to these events, I'm speaking mainly for some of the baseball and tournaments and soccer tournaments as well. But there are shirts made for that tournament specifically. There are entry fees to get in for the entire family. There are
the
concessions that are outrageously priced. There are multiple.
You have to pay a fee to play in the tournament.
There's
tournament fee.
Tournament fees for the teams, and then so that's what's one piece of it. And then for the family, to travel, they're paying all the money out of pocket. They're paying for the hotels. They're paying for the food, because when you go to those, you typically eat out. But first of all, somebody's making a lot of money. The host of those and the surrounding area is making a lot of money.
Can we have like horseshoe tournaments at our house? Travel horseshoes?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
If you guys think of some good ideas,
a bunch of horseshoe pits could fit out there in that 20-acre hayfield.
Yeah, if you want to come up with something to fund Cassie's chicken habit, she is looking for 6 new coops and 600 new chickens. And I don't know where they're going to fit, but if she could fund it, she would have it. And you guys know that because she's wearing a shirt that says Crazy Chicken Lady. That's thing number 1. Thing number 2, what it's doing, and this isn't all negative. There are positives, Coach Walker, that comes out of sports, right?
My opinions has changed a lot in the last few years.
But
maybe not my opinion as much as my values now that I'm raising my own kids.
Well, that's the thing.
But my parents stayed true to their values. I did not go to my softball games till after church.
But what I think it's doing, and what this podcast talked about, is it has created this world that basically has transformed a child's childhood. It has made their childhood revolve around whatever activity it is, as opposed to revolving around childhood things like a kid being at home bored, going outside playing, getting outside, getting fresh air, doing things like that. So it's completely transformed the dynamic of families, and it's making them busier and busier and busier and busier because they're going and going and going. And this is coming from people that are busy that don't do travel sports. We just do the normal, backyard, what's it called? Local? League. So our local
backyard.
Leagues. I don't know. I think of it's in our backyard. So I'm not saying it's all bad. There's good things to coaching or to teams. They're learning different aspects of the game. But at some point, as parents, we have to make our decisions as to where we draw that line. And wherever you draw that line, you need to think about it way ahead of time.
Yes.
Be, what's the word for it?
Proactive.
Proactive. Be not intense, but intentional.
Yeah.
Be intentional about what are we going to do this year? What are we going to do this next year? Right now, we just ended soccer season. Ranger has already asked to play flag football next year, but he doesn't quite want to give up soccer. So I intentionally had a conversation with him the other day that we're trying to find Mazzy violin lessons right now. I know some of you guys have asked about violin. We're trying to get Mazzy the violin. Ransom will probably be playing baseball.
Yeah, he wants to play flag football also.
He wants to play flag football also.
And baseball.
And
soccer.
And
basketball.
So I told Ranger, we have to be intentional about our choices because there's not enough time in the day to play two sports, to play soccer and flag football. There's not enough time for Ransom to play baseball and soccer. We have to make choices. So we have to be intentional as parents, and it's not an easy job, and we're not making all the right choices. So come after us if you want to in the comments. There's plenty of people that do, but come after us. But what I want to say is, whatever you're doing with your family, be intentional about it. Think about it way ahead of time and plan to make sure that you have enough time to spend time as a family. That you're not just going all the time and completely busy. Like I said, we're coming up on the holidays this next week. I'm really thankful for the time that we'll have just to be a family, be outside, doing things on the farm, and having fun.
Yeah.
Well, Coach Walker, do you have any insights from a coach's perspective?
I have lots of insights. Not everybody wants to hear them.
Well, go for it.
But just some thoughts I have on that. I coached college volleyball for 2 years, and never did I ask any of them what happened prior to the age of 16, a roundabout. So if they were on the all-star 8-year-old volleyball team, didn't really care. If they didn't start until their junior year, what I cared about is what happened junior, senior year. So it's not like they can just pick up a volleyball then. They need to be playing and all that. But all the rings and all the all-star yada yada doesn't mean a lot. So that's what I look at as a coach, or think about. Also, if you pay $5,000 to play on this all-star team, if you've done that very many times, you've already paid for your kid's college. So that college scholarship, you already paid for it. So I have lots of opinions on these things. The thing though, if the kids love it, if your family loves it, if that's what you do together, more power to you, but just don't lose focus on the important things. Don't not attend church for 4 months because you're playing so much, whatever it is, fill in the blank, and figure out where that line is, draw it before you get into it, because I'm even bad about when Ranger did play baseball and he's had soccer coaches ask for him to come play with them to pick up or whatever. And I get really excited because I get excited for Ranger because he does such a good job. And I'll be like, hey, there's this tournament, and I'm like, yeah, we could make it work. And Gary's like, So he helps me remind me of that line. And if we didn't have that beforehand, I would probably cross that line a whole lot just because I get excited about it.
And it's
the coach in me.
But it is exciting.
And the mom in me.
It's exciting when your children do well. You want them to do well. And you want them to succeed at everything they do.
Yeah, and with that, twice now it's happened in basketball and in soccer. Rangers teams were in a tournament. They should have been in the finals, had potential to be in the finals, and we went to church first and then checked in on the team. Hey, do we need to come? And twice they got beat and didn't make it to the finals. And not necessarily just because Ranger wasn't there, but It's hard when your son isn't there, and then that happens. But both times it's been a great learning experience for Ranger. That we went to church first, we did what was important and what we needed to do, and he's been able to learn from that. We're going to do that no matter what, and one day it'll all work out.
Yeah, and our children are watching all the time. They need to know that we're adults. Mm-hmm. We devise a plan, we follow it, because children do what feels right, or what just kind of whatever, anything goes.
And if we justify things, then it teaches them to justify things. So anyway, everybody's different. You have to do what works best for your family and what you feel God is leading you and calling you and what's right for you. But that's just how we have done it, and hope how we will continue to do it.
Yes, and part of that is preserving time and making time for family, because we realize, and I know lots of you have said it, enjoy these times while your children are young, while they're small. Well, we know there's only so much time while they're in our home, and there's only so much time that we have any kind of influence with our children, because at some point they're going to spread their wings and fly.
You know what Ransom reminded me of this morning?
What did Ransom remind you of?
Ranger will be driving in 5 years.
Ranger will be driving in 5 years. And he wants, right now he wants a Ford Ranger, which is very affordable. So I'm hoping that he'll stick to that.
Yeah. So time flies. We only have so long. And when he is 16, I don't want to look back and think, you haven't been to church since you were 10 because we've been so busy.
Yeah. Or, we wanted to make sure that with things that we planned out, we achieved. And we're trying to do that because at some point we want them to leave a nest. Yep. Because you know what an eagle that never leaves the nest is called?
What?
A turkey. Do you want any turkeys living in our basement?
You know what happens when the children leave the nest in this house?
What happens?
You said I get a dog.
Oh, I said that would be a better time to get a dog. Right now we have to clean up after all the messes our kids make.
On the next Catching Up with the Walkers, we talk about the dog situation.
Oh, let's just bust out the dog situation right now, Cassie.
No, we don't have time.
You want to vent that out completely?
We don't have time.
You want to settle that right here?
We don't have time.
We have a lot of fun about this dog.
Message me. I'll tell you our address where to drop it off.
Cassie has been trying to what's it called?
Accomplice.
She's trying to involve people in Instagram and Facebook through stories in illegal activities. Taking a dog.
Illegal? They're not going to steal it.
Taking a dog from somebody's house, they're stealing it, right?
No, I'm going to pay for it. And they're going to bring it to me, and I'm going to pretend like it was a gift, and you can't say no to a gift.
I can say no to a gift.
Anyway, we don't have time for this.
Okay, see, she's been found out.
Wrap it up.
So, we say that to say this.
Love your spouse.
I love my spouse very, very much. I just don't want to clean up like a poop and a pee mess
in the house.
Right next to my kids' mess. Right next to their soccer jersey.
I don't want it in the house.
On the floor.
I don't want it in the house.
And right now is not a good time to get another dog because it's cold outside. How cold is it?
It's cold at whatever house it's living at right now.
22 degrees outside currently.
No, it's not. It's 29.
29. So much warmer. You would be out there.
Which wrist did you look at when you pretended to look at your watch?
Am I right? You would be out there with
You'd have a heated doghouse.
You would be out there with a poodle doodle. What kind of? I don't even know what this is.
Poodle doodle.
I don't even know.
That's a double poodle. A poodle doodle is a double poodle. That's just the poodle.
Is that a full blood?
Full blood.
Purebred.
Purebred.
JoJo's a purebred.
Poodle doodle.
JoJo's a pure.
You guys heard it here first. No, he's not.
Yes, he's a purebred good boy. I tell him that all the time. Cassie thinks he's a mutt.
Wrap it up.
Well, Cassie said...
For the record, I love JoJo. He's just not a lap dog. And he sheds.
Cassie said, wrap it up. So on the next episode of Sitting Down and Catching Up with the Walkers, we will have a full discussion about poodle doodles and the future dog that Cassie wants. Is that right?
Yeah, I have nothing else to say.
Okay, we're going to move on. No, we do have serious things to talk about on Catching Up with the Walkers.
Okay.
Like,
Have we done it yet?
like what's coming up in one of our next videos.
Okay.
Because Catching Up with the Walker subscribers are the absolute
The elite.
best subscribers on
The
YouTube.
OGs.
We're going to let you in on a little secret. Cassie harvested the very, very first deer on our 60 acres that we're sitting on right now. And she harvested her very first deer in archery. And her very first deer in archery just so happened to be a buck.
And it's the first deer to hang in our cold room.
And it's the first deer to hang in our cold room.
Where someone said, you should show your cold room on videos. We did a whole series of videos about our cold room.
I think we need to do like one video about the cold room, but people are real sensitive to, hanging carcasses. And so I don't want to.
We should probably take the deer out before we do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, we should do it after the deer's gone.
So it's probably not a great time to go through and do just that. But I will show you Cassie's deer because I think this video will be out tomorrow on Walker Farm Fam.
Sneak peek.
So I could be wrong. It could be a different day, but there is.
I can't keep my days straight.
Yeah, I can't keep our videos straight. There is Cassie's 8-point buck that she got with her crossbow. Congratulations to Cassie.
Some of you will say it's not a real bow, but it is to me.
Do they know that you have degenerative discs in your back?
They don't care.
Okay, well, Cassie has degenerative discs in her back, and she can manage that bow like a pro. And you guys need to go over and tell Bo that Cassie is currently in the lead. And remind him at Moorhead Homestead that if he wants to win, he better get in the tree stand and get something bigger.
He's got to get a bigger one than me.
Yeah, so.
He missed a bigger one than me the same night.
Sorry, Bo.
Spoiler alert.
Dutch also missed a giant buck.
He missed a horse. That was a horse.
He missed a big one. So, lots of deer hunting going on in Oklahoma.
Maybe they need a bow like mine.
But one lady has not just been a deer hunter, she has been a deer slayer. So, congratulations, Cassie.
I've seen one deer. I've killed one deer.
So, congratulations to Cassie, though. And here on Catching Up with the Walkers, we always do save some time for praying. And I do have an update on prayer request and an additional prayer request on my brother-in-law, Kerry is his name. And he went through, they had a mass that was removed. But they took it all out, but they did find out it was cancerous. But the good news was they got it all. He was in ICU for 3 days. He just got out of ICU yesterday. But if you would remember to keep him and my sister Sherry in your prayers as they continue to go through this, and they are going to keep a close eye on it now and make sure that they got it all. But B, check lymph nodes and other things to ensure that there's nothing else there. So
yeah, and I would like to ask you guys for prayer for a dear friend of mine who lost her father. Just be praying for her and her family during this time. It's never an easy thing to go through as an adult, but also as a child who has lost their grandparents. So be praying for them.
And we know lots of you have mentioned the holidays and how hard they are because of the ones you've lost recently. So be in prayer for all of those individuals as well. There's been a lot of things going on around the country, different states. I know prayer requests have been coming in. So if you would go look down in the comments and remember those in your prayers as well. So we want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to deal with Cassie and her crazy chickens and her dog issues. That's where we're at right now. Mainly the dog issue. But we do hope that you have a great day. God bless, and we'll see you next time.
Love you guys.
That wasn't very enthusiastic.
I love them. I'm mad at you right now.
Can we get a better I love you guys?
Love you guys.